All right, guys, we're back. This time we're going to talk about the Super Mario Brothers movie. This is the new animated film, long time coming. What was it? What year did the original movie come out?
89? No, 93.
93.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
correct. It's been a long time, and they are finally trying this again.
Yeah.
This one obviously starring Chris Pratt, Anya Taylor-Joy, Charlie Day, Jack Black, Keegan-Michael Key, Seth Rogen, and Fred Armisen. And obviously Pratt as the titular character, Mario. Tell us the premise, Carrie. You got to see this. There were no guests allowed for the screening. So
yeah, like it was so strange. Like they really had it locked down. I guess Universal is very concerned about leaks. So they like only let press in. So there were like 8 of us. So it was very strange. But regardless,
wow. Holy shit.
So basically, Mario and Luigi are plumbers that service Brooklyn and Queens, and they, in an attempt to prevent Brooklyn from being completely flooded from an incident, they discover a warp pipe that sends them both to other worlds. So Mario lands in the Mushroom Kingdom, and Luigi lands in Bowser's clutches. So in a slight turn from the usual go save the princess narrative of the classic Mario games, rather than trying to save Princess Peach, Mario has to team up with Princess Peach in order to save Luigi. So that's basically it.
I would expect the narrative to be pretty basic. The game is pretty basic.
Yeah,
that's okay. That makes sense.
But in spite of it being basic, this is a real celebration of the entire Mario franchise from the last almost 40 years now. Nice. There's so much going on. So if you are a lifelong fan of the Mario series like myself, you're going to find a lot to enjoy in this movie. In spite of the fact that the plot is just like basic. Like
I mean,
but I also have to keep in mind, like, it's a kid's movie. It doesn't need to be a masterpiece.
Right. It's based on a platformer. Go from A to B. That's it. Right. Like, and then we start over to the next level like that. And that's fine. Like, I'm sure that probably was part of the reason why the plot is basic. They're like, well, let's not make this too complicated. It doesn't need to be. Yeah. So it's a big nostalgia bomb, which I would imagine makes a lot of sense. Does the movie suffer from that, or does that actually work in its favor?
I think it works in its favor. I mean, like a lot of other Illumination studio animated features, it's very much like there's a visual gag going on in every single frame. So if you don't like that, then you're not going to like this. But there's so much going on. Like I was fortunate to go to the press screening, and I'm actually going with my band again this weekend to see it as a group. And I'm looking forward to a second viewing so that I can see some of the stuff that I know I didn't catch on the first time. Yeah. But there's references to a million other like old school NES games outside of Mario. There's Kid Icarus references. There's balloon fight references. There's Wrecking Crew references. There's all sorts of stuff going on in the background. And it like in a way that works. In a way that doesn't feel forced. It's just like, if you know what you're looking for, it's there. Right. There's so much to like about this movie. And the biggest thing is Jack Black as Bowser is far and away the standout. Really? To the surprise of no one, really.
Yeah, it's not much of a surprise to me. He's been like, for all the press tours and everything, he's been dressing as Bowser. Like, he is into it, which I super love.
He was the perfect choice. Absolutely the perfect choice. There's like, he manages to make Bowser scary when Bowser needs to be scary, but he also manages to make Bowser convincingly vulnerable when he needs to be convincingly vulnerable. Yeah. It's delightful. I love Bowser. I love Jack Black. It was a match made in heaven as far as the voice acting choice there. Honestly, the rest of the voice cast is really good too. I was so pleasantly surprised by Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong, and Donkey Kong plays a much larger role in this film than I think people are expecting him to. Yeah. They're definitely they are establishing the rivalry between Mario and Donkey Kong in this film that I hope we get to see in future installments. But yeah, he's really good. He's really good. Fred Armisen as Cranky Kong is like delightfully like cranky, I guess.
Yeah. Fred Armisen he's actually, he almost never disappoints for me. Like he almost never does. Now, so in the world
big
of
question,
voice
of course,
right?
is Chris Pratt.
Right. Let's get to Pratt. How
He's
is
fine.
Yeah, people were like freaking out that he was using his regular voice, but I'm like, did you really want the guy who does the Mario voice the whole time?
Right. Look, and of course, Charles Martinet has voice cameos throughout. Like his presence is
Okay.
not hard
that's
to
fair.
miss.
Yeah, that's fair. That makes sense.
And look, Chris Pratt does a fine imitation Brooklyn accent. My family's all from Long Island. I'm very familiar with New York accents. It's fine. It's not too over the top. It's not like, the fucking Cockney accents in Mary Poppins that were so bad that they're good, that sort of shit. It's just like, it's fine. And honestly, the film is so fun and there's so much going on that you you forget that it's Chris Pratt. Like,
right.
You're just like, okay, cool, Mario's here.
Right. But that's, I mean, I guess that's a testament to him, right? Like that he could fall so far into that role that you're like, why is Star-Lord here? Right. Like,
right.
Like,
it
so
doesn't sound like
good.
Star-Lord is there. It's just like, okay, cool. This is the Mario voice. It's fine. I wasn't blown away by him. I loved Charlie Day as Luigi. I loved Anya Taylor-Joy as Peach. Okay. I would say Chris Pratt doesn't quite measure up to the other two in terms of that level of voice performance. But at the same time, the one thing that I think this movie does sort of suffer from is Mario almost feels like an accessory to everything else going on around him.
There's a lot of fucking characters in this, right? Like the fact that even Donkey Kong is in this movie, it says a lot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that. Like, does the movie feel overloaded? I mean, just looking at the poster, I mean, it's done in a sort of like modern movie style poster, but that's a lot of fairly large characters all thrown up there at once, and you don't have Peach playing just a damsel in distress. So I assume she's
Peach
playing
is a much badass in this movie.
She's a much larger role. So that's cool. So a bit overloaded.
I would say it's a bit overloaded. The one thing that I will say is like I didn't go into this movie expecting to be like moved to tears, but the way that they use Koji Kondo's original musical compositions from not just the original Super Mario Brothers, but from across the franchise, at key moments, like the reveal of Peach's castle in the Mushroom Kingdom to the castle theme from Super Mario 64, I was just like, oh no. Like it's just like if you're an old school kind of gamer like myself, you grew up playing all these old Mario games, like there are some musical moments in here that are designed to hit you in the nostalgia area of your soul, in the best possible way. On the flip side of that, there are some nonsense needle drop moments. Take on Me was not needed in this movie. You could have
very weird.
It's like there are some weird. It just like that really took me out of it at a couple points. It's just like we don't need Holding On for a Hero. We don't need Take on Me. We don't need No Sleep Till Brooklyn. Like we don't. It's unnecessary. Right. There is a bounty of beautiful, iconic music that is organic to the Super Mario franchise at large, that it was completely unnecessary.
Okay. That's fair. So yeah, needle drop soundtracks, like they had a time, and they work in some franchises better than others, but it's like, all right, we can stop doing this for every movie. It's actually not necessary. So I can understand that argument. But all in all, what's your score if you have to give it one?
I'm probably giving it like a 4 out of 5. Okay. I really don't understand where all these really low critic scores are coming from beyond people who simply fundamentally don't understand what Mario is about. If you're someone who has ever enjoyed a Mario game, you will enjoy this movie. It's beautifully animated. The voice acting is solid. The music is incredible score-wise outside of the pop music that they chose. It's just a fun hour and a half. Like it's a fun way to spend 90 minutes.
All right. And look, that doesn't overstay its welcome, which I love, right?
Yeah.
Hour and a half is good.
Quick note, there is a mid-credits and there is a post-credits stinger. So I will just leave it at that. They are clearly setting up for some things. So
okay, there you go. Look, I haven't seen it. I don't know what the credits are. And I'll say this. I just hope that Sonic is there. I want a Sonic cameo just because those movies are fun as hell too.
Sonic is here.
There you go. There he is. That would be my personal headcanon is that Sonic show.
Honestly, here's what I'll say. Between the Super Mario Brothers movie, the 2 Sonic films, and Detective Pikachu, we are clearly entering an era of high quality, faithful to the franchise video game adaptations in film, and I'm all about it. So
there you go. It's a wild moment, right? Like, because those are the 3. I mean, there are other ones, The Last of Us and stuff like that.
Right.
But like of the like kid level platformer type stuff, the fact that these are good is amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, all right. So there you go. 4 out of 5 for the Super Mario Brothers movie, and we will see you guys next time.
Thanks.